Oh, it's gonna be so good. This is a big pot of soup, guys. I'm gonna be eating soup for like a month. Anybody want some? I can ship it off to you. It's very nice. Look, the spinners are nice too. Look, watch. You can catch one. You see? Look what I made. Red pea soup. Come, let me show you how I made it. I'm going to start with soaking my peas overnight. So as you can see, it's dark. So we're doing this the night before. I have the dark red peas here, and I'm going to add 1 cup of that because I want it for color. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's too much. Okay. Oh well. So I've got 1.5 cups of that, and then I've got like half a cup, I guess, of this one. To get her into my world. God knows I'm serious. I'm not joke. I love this song. I love Lovers Rock. So anyway, that's going to be the vibe that we're going to be doing for this meal. So what we're going to do, we're going to wash these, quite a bit of water in here, and I'm going to add some garlic. And we're going to leave that soak overnight. So let me go wash this and I'll be back. I feel like I should add probably 1 more cup of peas because it is red pea soup. So I have 2 cups in here. I'm going to add 1 more cup. And then we're just going to wash them like this. See? Okay. So I'm going to rinse this out and put the garlic in. Okay, so I have some fresh water in here, and I'm going to add, say, 5 cloves of garlic. I cut off that little piece here, and I'll just put it like that, just to give it some extra flavor because it's cut open. The water will take on that flavor. And that's it. I'm going to add the cover, and we're going to let this go overnight. I'm not normally I would add some salt, but we're going to be having some salt pork in here, so we're not going to be adding salt to this one. There's going to be enough salt with the pork. Okay, so I know normally it would be pigtail or something like that you would put in pea soup, but it's kind of hard to get that here. So I have salt pork that I'm going to be using in that place. This is a pork cottage roll. So I'm just going to cut that up in pieces, and then we will soak this overnight. So it's still salt pork, it's just not pigtail. I'm also going to be putting some beef in this one. Pieces probably about like that size. So I have cut up the salt pork and I've just added it in water. And I'm just going to wash it a little bit, and I'm going to rinse it out and wash it again. And then I'm going to fill this up. I'll probably put it in a pot because I want as much of the salt to come out as possible overnight. Okay, so I added some water to this pot, and I have washed this again probably about 3 times I did. And I'm just going to add it to this cold water here. Don't want to make too much of a mess. Okay. We're going to let this soak overnight and start washing it. And then we'll start boiling it tomorrow morning. All right. I'm going to put a cover on it, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay. So we're at my stove, and here is the salt pork that's been soaking overnight. I'm going to empty this water and add fresh cold water and then boil it out 1 time. Sorry, I'm going to clean this first before I start boiling it. So I'm going to add some water and some vinegar. Okay. I'll just bring it over here for you guys. So I'm going to wash it. I have some water and vinegar in here. I'm just going to wash this out first. So here's the fresh cold water to boil out 1 time. I'm going to boil it probably like half an hour. As long as it gets to a first boil, I don't want it to boil out too much. So I think what I'm going to do is half of it, I'm going to put it in with the pork. And then when I put in the chocho and all that stuff, I will put the rest of the peas there so that at least some can boil out and then some can still be there. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is the first time I've ever made this soup. So we're going to do this together. Okay, so I boiled this and I tasted it and I realized that it is already not very salty. So I'm going to actually use that liquid in our big pot here. And I'm going to transfer that in there. Go like this. So I have all the flavor in there. I don't have to like boil it out kind of thing. And I'm going to add the peas to that now. I'm going to add the peas. See the color? I'm going to add most of the peas, I'd say. I'm going to leave some of them out. Like I said, because I just want to make sure that it's not all mashed out. This is a piece of roast beef that I had from yesterday because I made a cook up rice. So I added that. And I have some other stewing beef that I'm going to be using. So that's already cut up. Come on, is supposed to. I love this song. Have to cry. Okay. I know anyone can relate to when they find that special someone. She's royal, yeah. I think everybody knows when they find that special someone, you know? So one of a kind. Oh, the way she moves to her own beat. She has the qualities of a queen. Yep. She's a queen. Okay. Not a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. Yes, you're a queen. Ladies, listen to this song. She's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go wash up this meat here. There. Trial times. She says she no mind. Right now, no good man is hard to find. Yes. I think we all can agree to that one. Jesus. I also add some lemon. I don't want to put too much because I need this. I don't have a lot left, and I need some for the water for the yam and stuff because I don't want it to go black. If you know, you know. Okay. So I'm going to add the beef to here. And while that cooks a little bit, we're going to prepare some of the second batch of things that's going into this big pot. Okay, so time to prepare the vegetables that are going in first because we want to make sure that they boil out. Oh, crooked. Okay, we want them to boil out. We just want to give like the broth a flavor. So I'm going to be adding 2 chochos to it first. So we have to peel the skin. I'm going to wash all of these after once I'm done. We're going to be cutting this up very thinly because, like I said, I want it to boil out because I just want it to have some flavor. I got this recipe, Deddy's Kitchen. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. Anyway, I'm trying his version and see how that is. Cut that in half. I will put his link, like his channel, in my description, so you guys go check it out if you want. There, take that out. I'm putting it in like a. The bowl broke. I will be back after I clean it. Wow, that was a mess. Okay, so thank God I had one extra. So normally I would put 2 chochos, but because they were in the bowl when it smashed, I had to throw them away. So I've got one left. So you guys put 2. All right. So I now have a metal bowl, so that will not happen again. was like one of my favorite bowls too. That sucks. Anyway, I have another metal bowl that I put like my garbage in. I think it's because my hands were a little bit slippery from the chocho. So when I touched it, it slid out. Anyway, lesson learned. Do not use glass bowls while cutting up slippery vegetables. Duly noted. Okay. Yeah, because chocho is kind of slippery when you're holding it. So if you've never had chocho before, it is slippery. Okay. So we're gonna cut that in half. Let me just bring it down a little bit so you can see. Okay. Take out this little piece here. It's a very soft vegetable if you've never had it before. I'm just going to leave it whole because I'm going to be washing them. I'm also going to add one turnip. You can have like two little turnips, but this is kind of big. This is also like, I guess you could say like the Canadian turnip. It looks a little more yellow. I couldn't find the other two little ones, like the white ones. Well, they're not white, but like the skin is white. I couldn't find that one. So I'm just going to add one larger like turnip like this, up in like slivers, so it'll boil out nicely, just for flavor for the broth. Just cut that in half for now. Okay. I'm also going to add some pumpkin. Got this at the Asian grocery store yesterday, or the day before, sorry. And I don't really like pumpkin, like eating chunks of it. So what I do is this is why I'm putting it in this stage too, because I want it to boil out. It's easier to hold, I guess. Similar to like the pumpkin soup. That's what I do. I puree my pumpkin and my carrots together once it boils out. Because again, like I said, I don't like to eat pumpkin. I like the flavor of it. I just don't really like to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so I'm gonna go wash my vegetables and then we're gonna dice them up. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you a little bit as to how thinly I'm going to be cutting these. I'm not gonna let you watch me do the whole thing. So here's the chocho. And we're just going to like make it very thin, like this. Can you see that? Yeah. Same goes for this. I'm just going to grab it actually like little and just kind of like do it small because this takes a while to cook too. Because I didn't have two really big ones, I used three small ones. So again, we can just like straight like this if you want, or like on an angle, whatever you feel like. Really doesn't matter, but you're just going to be cutting this small. And then the pumpkin, same thing. We're going to grab that and just make them very small. And this is not, in case you don't know, I don't know who's watching, but in case you don't know, this is not like the Halloween kind of pumpkin. This is like the Jamaican pumpkin. You'll see like, you see it's like a different color. You could get it at like Asian grocery stores or like West Indian grocery stores. And it's usually packaged the way that I showed you, like it's in like a little bag usually. And that's how you know it's the right pumpkin. If you can't get that pumpkin somewhere, I have used not butternut squash. Was that little acorn one, like the green, the little green ones? I've used those before, but they're not as good. So if you can get a proper pumpkin, that will be better. So I'm just going to keep adding these to the bowl, and then we're going to add it to the soup. So I'm just going to keep going. The water is starting to reduce. I'm going to add all of my chopped up veggies into the pot. Oh, there's a big piece there. And I'm going to add the remaining, oh no, it's not. And I'm going to add the remaining peas at this stage. There. It's looking nice. The yellow yam, which I have here, hopefully it's not ruined because sometimes, you buy these and then they're like rotten inside. So I'm praying that it's all good. Um, I have a next one here. I'm hoping that it's the same thing. I do see something here, like I don't know. I'll have to check. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I have at least one. If I can salvage the other one, I will. And I'm going to be adding some lemon juice to this water. So this is yellow yam. Let me bring you down a bit. You girl, don't you know your love is okay? It's good. So what I'm gonna do, just to make it a little easier, like that. You see how it's starting to turn color already? This is why you have to put it in this lemon lemon water to keep it from, because when the air gets to it, it starts to turn brown. And it's not like as if it's ruining it. You just don't really want it to be brown because it's a yellow yam, right? And this is also slippery, so you have to be careful with this. Okay. And I'm just going to cut it in big chunks like this. This is like a hearty meal. You put that in there. It starts to get like slimy, so you put that in there. Okay. And then I'm going to continue with the, see how it's like starting to turn brown already? See? Okay. But this is a different kind of sweet potato. So we're just going to cut this up too. Maybe just be easier this way. And of course, if you've already seen these and like you're a kind of person that makes this food, you know, this is not surprising to you, but you never know who's watching. Could be somebody that wants to try something new and something different. So I'm just kind of trying to educate as I go. So if it doesn't, if it's not educating you, don't come for me and be like, don't tell me, don't teach me how to make my food, right? I'm not doing that. Cut that. See, it's nice big pieces, right? Like it's a very hearty soup. Most Jamaican soups are very hearty. So I love them so much. Pumpkin soup is definitely my favorite. I love it. The more dumplings in there, like the spinners, the better for me. My oldest son Cordell loves it too. My other two, not so much. Okay. Now the cocoa. I just put it in like this bowl here, right? So you can kind of cook clean so it's not all over your counters. Sometimes I'll have my garbage just on the side here and I just peel it on top of the garbage, but today I have my bowl. Like before they go into the soup, I'm going to be cleaning them. Like I'll rinse them off. Obviously, they're not going to stay into that lemon water. That's just to make sure that it doesn't turn brown and it keeps fresh. Sorry for ruining the song, guys. I'm not a singer. I'm a cook for sure. I will not leave my day job for singing and dancing. I can promise you that. Okay, so I have the potatoes, also known as Irish potato, and I'm going to just cut this up. I'm not going to add it with the yam and stuff because these really only take like 20 minutes to cook. These potatoes, just make sure that you have a potato that's good to boil so it doesn't like mash out too much. So me personally, I love russet potatoes, but if you want to take a look at your like potato bag just to make sure that they won't mush. These potatoes aren't that great. I notice, I'm from Prince Edward Island. That's where I am. And we're well known, if you don't know that, but like we're well known for our potatoes. Like, and they send all the great potatoes off island and we get the garbage. Like, I don't understand. Like, we have potato fields everywhere and yet we get the worst part of the potato. Anyway, I just thought that was like a little fun fact for you guys to know. All right. I'm going to wash this and then put them in some cold water. Okay, so I'm showing you more than a halfway point, but I just want to give you a little view of my red pea soup. We're finally back. It's been cooking for about an hour and a half. If I call you up for you tonight. It's looking good. The color is off. it's like a orangey color instead of like a red, but I'm going to assume it's just because I have some pumpkin in there, and that's okay. But it's looking good. So I had frozen some coconut milk, so I'm just going to add it in here. This is probably about 2 cups, well, maybe a cup and a half. But you should probably just put like one can of it. Add a little bit more. Maybe I'll just add a little bit more. I had some of the coconut milk here, so I'll add that. Give some nice flavor, and then I'm going to add the yam and all those things. Okay, I washed it, and I'm going to be adding it to the pot. There. It's gonna be so good. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm going to cut up some scallion. I'm not going to cut up too much because I like to keep them somewhat whole. I'm going to take this one first piece off like this because it's like wiltering. Clean that off, and I'm going to wash it. Okay, all nicely washed. And so what I like to do is kind of like smush them like this to release some of the flavors on the inside. And then I like to also cut them in half. Like this. So you kind of get a good one, and then you can just like slice it like that. Again, you just cut it like in half like this, and then you grab it and you just slice. It's pretty simple. And I like to just put it in chunks. I know some people put it like whole. I don't like that. So I'll just put this in the same bowl as the things right now. I'm also going to cut up my onion and just slice it up. And then I usually like just kind of cut it like that. And I'm going to put that in that little bowl there. I'm also going to grab some thyme. I'm going to wash this one too. Put like this much, kind of like a bunch of it. And I'm just going to go wash this and then put it in the bowl as well. Okay, so I'm going to add about this many, so like 6, 7 pieces of garlic. What I like to do is just like smash it like this. And I'll chop it a little bit, but this releases the flavor as well. Finely chop them. Just in case, I mean, they should be able to like mash out in the water, but just in case they don't too much. I don't want to be like biting into a big piece of garlic, right? They're hard to find. So I'm going to grab these things and just add them into the soup. Okay. I'm also going to add the garlic. Also going to grab, I have a big bag of Scotch bonnet peppers that I keep in the freezer because every time I see them and they're on sale and stuff, I'm like, oh, I want to grab that. So let me just grab a nice one with a stem on it so it's easier to pull out. I wonder if I have any stems on them. Oh, good, perfect. So I'll grab this one and I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting 2 cock soup packages in here. I like having noodles in there. Some people siphon it out. I don't do that. Even with my pumpkin soup, I don't do that. I like the noodles in there. So I'm going to add the Caribbean spice and roasted garlic. I'm just going to sprinkle some of that in there. That. Because remember, it's a big pot of soup, right? I'm going to add some black pepper. Some onion powder. And I'm going to add flavour rice seasoning. Now, like I said, the recipe that I was watching, he added this, Deddy's Kitchen. And, you know, I'm always open to trying something new, and it looks really good. So I'm going to try it. I don't know if this is like a regular, probably isn't a regular seasoning that goes in there, but I'm just going to try it anyway. I'm going to add some of that in there. and see how that turns out. He looked like he knew what he was doing. He's an older Jamaican man, and his food looks delicious. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try it. Like I said, I'm always open to trying new things. I've never seen anybody else put that in there, so we will see what it tastes like. All right, let's try to taste it. Oh, it's good. That's a nice flavor. I'll probably add some more salt later, but we'll see. Let the seasonings really take over first and make sure it really gets into the soup, you know? Put like 1 cup, but I want a lot of dumpling in next time. So I'm putting 2 cups. Just sprinkle. So maybe like a teaspoon. And that's it. And we're going to add some water and mix that up together. So I'll be right back. I'm going to grab maybe a little bit more water just to add as I go. Yeah. One more night without you. Now my life, you by my side. I beg, swallow my pride, y'all. So I'd say there's like a 3/4 of a cup of warm water. You just need it. Say you want to me, you reaching time and you are bad for me. Push the doorway, big smile on your face. Feed you all day. Me know why you feel leave, me know why you feel leave, baby girl. This will give us quite a bit of spinners because I don't make them very big, right? See, so it's like bouncy. You can see that? Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna let this rest probably like 10 minutes and then I'm gonna put it in the soup. Okay, we're going to start making the spinners. So all you do, here, I'm gonna come a little bit closer for you. Okay, so what you do is you grab a small little piece like this and you roll it like this in your hands. So you make them like this, and then you put them in the soup. Once all of these are up at the top floating, that means that they're cooked. See, because they're like when they're going in, they're just going in. We're gonna give it a nice stir as well, just to make sure that nothing sticks at the bottom. And just do that. Add that in there. It's gonna be delicious. Watch this soup. Look at that. Okay, here's the potatoes going in. So that's gonna cook another half hour to 45 minutes. I'll come back to show you. I'm gonna taste it now, and then I'll add my salt now because it's not going to get any more salt, right? This is a new spoon. You know what? I'm gonna take out the pepper now. I want to take it before it mashes up. Then it's gonna be ruined because it's gonna be too hot. All right. Hello, baby, can you come over? Right now, loneliness taking over. We need you tonight, yeah, me lover. Come warm me up under the cover. I wasn't expecting the song to come up. I love it. On me shoulder, listen some Anita Baker. Make love till we wake up the neighbor. Girl, you're all I need. Isn't that nice? It would be like a nice pot of soup, listening to music like this. Yeah, this would be a nice vibe. Anyway, okay, guys, soup is done. I turned it off already. But look at this pot of soup. Can I bring it closer for you? Here. Who doesn't like Bear's Hammond? And it's going to thicken up a little bit more, even though it's turned off. Um, because the spinners and stuff is going to make it thick, and so are like the peas a little bit. Now, I do notice that it's not usually the same color as what the other red pea soups that I've seen, but I'm just going to assume because I added the pumpkin, it gave it this color, which is fine. This probably took And a lot of like Jamaican things or Caribbean things in general take a long time to make. Usually you're seasoning it the night before, but that's what makes it taste so good. You put so much love into it, you put so much time into it, you watch it, it's like you baby it. Yeah. Anyway, this took probably like 3 hours to make, almost, if not longer. Um, like cutting up the things, boiling it, like everything, it's like probably it's like a day thing. That's why Sundays is great to have a big pot of soup. Anyways, guys, thanks for being here. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, in my way, hey, yeah.